turn on the PM600 and we're going to allow the new control system to boot up. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go to process setup. We're going to write a recipe, and we want to enable the pump down, the pre-process pump down, and we're going to have it pump down to 150 millitorque crossover pressure. So we'll put in 150, enter. We'll also enable the post-process pump down. That will be after it's processed your recipe. It's going to pump down before we vent to atmosphere, and we'll put 150 also setting in that. The purge durations and the cycles, we can do a quick purge on the pre-pump down if we want, and we can select how many cycles. Same with the post-process, we can do a 1 or 2 second purge, post-pump down, post-process purge, and then how many cycles we want. For right now, we aren't going to do any purges or cycles. Then we want to enable step 1, and we can select our gases, stabilization times, the settle time. We can turn on the RF generator, our wattage on the generator, and then the time we want to run the process. So we'll enable oxygen, and we'll do a setting of 80 SCCMs. Type in 80 SCCMs, and we'll give it a 30-second stabilization time before the RF comes on. We'll enter in 30, and then we'll enable the RF generator, and we'll do 300 watts on that, and we'll run, just for the video showing this, we'll just put 30 seconds for the time, that the process time. Now the RF off, this would be used if you wanted to run more than one step. It would delay the RF before it would go into another step. So if you had gas flow changes, you would want to do a delay to allow the gas flow to change. For now, we're just going to do the one step. So we've got 80 SCCMs oxygen, 30-second stabilization time, 300 watts RF, and we have RF on for 30 seconds. We'll call this recipe ash 30 seconds. Enter. Now we want to save this to the USB. The USB over on the side here, this is where our recipes are stored. So I want to go mount. I want to save. And then now I want to load the recipe. So now we've written a recipe, we've saved it to our USB thumb drive, and we've loaded our recipe. So now we'll go back to our graphical page, and we'll go ahead, and the chamber is vented, you can see. We're going to load our material. And we'll go ahead and get it pumping down, and we'll hit process start. Now you see this line here, it kind of shows the progress of our process so far. Isolation valve, vacuum valves open. Our barotrain will show once we get under 10 torr, we'll start to see the pressure. Once it gets to 150 millitorr, we will turn on our gases, and then you can see we can always go back to process setup, and we can kind of see where our settings are. Obviously you can see things are grayed out because we have already made our changes. We're running a recipe, we're not allowed to change it. So see now our pressure is down to 1.5 torr coming down. we'll see our oxygen flow. The valve will open. Where we are about right now. There we'll oxygen set at 80 SCCMs. Valves open. See now here we down at the lower left corner of the screen, it says we're in step 1. 19-20 seconds has elapsed. We're in the pressure settle mode. Now here at 30 seconds, RF should come on. You can see the red display telling us that it's out of range as it's tuning. And you see now we've got forward power, 300 watts, 0 reflective. We have an oxygen plasma in the chamber. You can see our timer is counting up to 30 seconds. Process is complete. It's going to pump back down to our 150 millitorr post-process crossover. Now at this point here the process is run. We want to hit vent to vent back to atmosphere. Venting will take up to about 70 to 80 seconds. Now if you want to run different recipes or have different recipes set up, we can hit the mount, which looks at our USB thumb drive here, and we can select whatever recipe you have set up. There I can select some of the recipes that we've been testing with, recipe 2, test 1, whatever. And if you want to run that recipe, hit the load, and you can see now it's loaded in multiple step recipe that we have written. Again, if you want to go back to your Asher 30 seconds, select that one, load that, and it goes back to the recipe that we had initially set up. Now on the different screens, the manual control would be more of what a maintenance personnel would use for troubleshooting. As you can see, you can turn different gases on, generator on. This screen also plots your pressure, gas flows of the 2 MFCs, the generator reflective and generator forward. So you can actually look at your plot of your pressure, gas, and generator on your process runs. The process setup is where we can edit recipes, load recipes, that sort of thing. Our linearity test is where we can actually test the MFCs to make sure that they haven't drifted, that they're still in calibration. Configuration is a page again to where you don't need to change it, as we have it set up for the correct size of MSCs in the tool, the correct size of the manometer, correct size of the generator, our fault windows, and then our actual vent time. And Diagnostic Control again is a page that would only be used by a maintenance personnel or someone trying to diagnose the system. Again, this page is where we could manually turn things on and off. So the pages that you really need to do for operating the system will be your process setup and then your graphical page. And that kind of is an overview of how the new software control system is.